to Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video. I'll see where the Spirit takes me here, whether it's short or long. I got an idea it's going to be a little long, not too long. But the new thing is Dan is mixed with Benjamin. So according to the IUIC, and I came across this short, and I listened to it. I listened to shorts, because it's short, And I believe I heard this from somebody somewhere, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I forget who said it. Concerning Dan is among. Well, we said Dan has to be mixed among the tribes. We didn't say Dan is mixed among Gad or Benjamin or even Judah. And remember, you got the spirit. You got the spirit of Dan that could come back from any when they die and go in the spiritual realm. When your spirit comes back, you can come back in any tribe. Moses was a Levite and he came back as a Judite, as King David. If you believe in reincarnation and there's always you come back in your lot, pursuant to Daniel chapter 12. You come back in your lot, meaning you come back. If you were a prophet in the past, a righteous prophet in the past, you're gonna come back in that lot. If you were a priest, you most likely come back. If you're a righteous priest for the Most High, not necessarily a prophet, you're going to come back in a certain lot. If you were a wicked Israelite in the past, most likely you're going to come back as a wicked Israelite. If you're just an average Israelite, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, like these Jakes out here, these Jakes, these gang-banging Jakes, these Jakes out there, these wild Negroes, none of them guys were prophets or great ancient men back in the past. You come back in your lot. As a matter of fact, so let me just say this. Now the title, I didn't give you the title. Basically the title is Dan is now mixed with the tribe of Benjamin. That's going to be the title. And this is from none other than Bishop Nathaniel. And he said he can prove that. I would like the proof on that. And please don't give me one of them old books from 1897. See, if you go to this book here from 1897, Dan mixed himself with the Benjaminites. No, it doesn't work that way. Now I'm not saying Dan can't be mixed with Benjamin, but it doesn't say that. And if it says Dan came among them and they married among the Benjamin, in reincarnation you're not going to come back as Benjamin. If you were Judah in a past life, you're not necessarily going to come back as Judah or Benjamin or Levi. You're not necessarily going to come back as by the way, John the Baptist was a Levite when he was Elijah. They said he was a Tishbite, which I believe that was a Benjaminite. I got to look that up. He's from the land of Tish, so I mean, geographical wise, you can look it up. So when I get a chance, I'll look it up. But I do know that Elijah is known as the Tishbite. People that don't know the scriptures, they say, well, that's not one of the tribes of Israel, so he's a heathen. No. Tishbite is a land. Like Uriah the Hittite. Uriah, that David set up to get killed, the husband of Bathsheba, he was an Israelite. He wasn't a Canaanite. Yeah, but his name is Uriah. Uriah was a place that he was dwelling in the land of Canaan, because Israelites took all of Canaan. And that's the only nation went not to deal with the Canaanites, and that even went to Esau. Esau was not the parents. Isaac and Rebekah told Jacob not to deal with the Canaanites. What did Esau do? He dealt with a Canaanite, and he dealt with an Ishmaelite. Now, he could have dealt with an Ishmaelite because they were Hebrews. They were Shemitic Hebrews, but he could not deal with a Canaanite. When we came out of bondage, 40 years in the wilderness, the Most High said, okay, you're going to take this land. And there's many references where it says, Esau, don't mess with them. Egypt, what is that? Deuteronomy 23, verse 7, when it speaks about Edom, a born not a Edomite, and it goes into the Egyptians. You shall not hate. I'm just merely paraphrasing. I can go to it. What that meant was, you don't meddle with the Egyptians, which are Mizraim. Neither do you meddle with the Edomites, and for that case, the Moabites, because the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, the people of Mizraim, don't mess with them. You know, if you do, you can do trade with them. You can be cool with them. Don't marry them. Now you can have concubines, but when that meant was, you're not going to take their lands. You're not to go to war with them. Your focus is on the land of Canaan. It said it slaughtered them, kill the babies, kill the old people, don't make no agreements with them whatsoever. Period. So anyway, that's a whole another thing going into geography, where nations dwelt, and ultimately why the Most High said to Moses to tell the children of Israel, you know, be cool with the Edom. That's what it said, be cool with the Edomites. And the word abhor does not mean hate. You got to see, you can't hate an Edomite. See, it says abhor not a Hebrew. Did you look up the word abhor? Because in the New Testament, the word hate is in there. So the Most High couldn't use the word hate, but it had nothing to do with hate. Abhor meaning to, you know, you can deal with him. Jacob kissed Esau on the neck, had his sons kiss him on the neck. Meaning you got to be cool with him. When Moses wanted to go through the King's Highway in the book of Numbers, he said, he called him brother Esau. King of Esau, my brother, we are brothers, and this, that, and the third. You know, we went through in the land of Mizraim. Can we go through your highway, and we'll pay you, or if we take any water or anything missing, we'll compensate for it. And this was the hate for Esau. We're not to hate Esau, but Esau can hate the hell out of us, right? The king said, "Nah, man, nah, you ain't coming through here." That was the hatred, man. You went to a relative, a cousin, and you in a jam. Nah, I ain't gonna help you. Fuck you then, you know. Now Israel didn't attack them. The Most High didn't say, "Okay, go attack them and take their land." Deuteronomy chapter 2, first couple of verses, says that they're gonna be afraid of you. It said, "Don't meddle with them. Don't get into no squabbles with them, because you're not gonna get that land." That's what that's talking about. A boy, not a Edomite, neither. Matter of fact, let me go to it. For you people that don't use a thing called etymology. A lot of times when you go through the scriptures, you have to go into the Hebrew. I'm going to just throw this at you, Bishop Nathaniel. I caught you saying, let's go to what did you say 2 weeks ago? And I pretty much go through it a lot. Let's go to the Bible Hub. Why'd you go to the Bible Hub? That's the place that I go to. You probably look, oh, it's hard. Yeah, pretty good. I'm going to start using the Bible Hub. I'll say, let's go to the commentary, and I'll put in a scripture in the Google, not Google, but in the Google, and I'll put in commentary. And guess what? A whole lot of sites come up. I just happened to click on the Bible Hub. I think it was like the first on the list or the second. I could have clicked on anyone. And I can prove that. There's many commentaries. Oh, the Blue Letter has a commentary. I think I might have gone to the Blue Letter commentary maybe once or twice. But I normally go to, it happens to be the Bible Hub. Anyway, when you go to these, you go to the Bible Hub, right? You go to other dictionaries. Go to the Blue Letter, man. You guys ain't never went to the Blue Letter. And I know why you don't want to go. I have an idea why you don't go to the Blue Letter. Because we'll jump on you, say, you see IUICs, they following us. They're secret disciples. Bishop Nathaniel is a secret disciple of the apostles of GMS because they go to the Blue. That's why you don't go to the Blue Letter. We allow you to go to we invite you to go to the Blue Letter, okay? And for this hammerhead Negro that says, you guys go to the Blue Letter, you go to the Concordance, you go to this. First of all, we go to it for the people. We already know the scriptures. When we go through the scriptures and we do these videos and we break things down, we're not breaking it down for ourselves. We're breaking it down for the ones that learned, and these are merely tools to say, if somebody says, I'm gonna get into the main subject about Dan being mixed with Benjamin, but like I said, this is for the people out there that are coming in, the newborn babies coming in there. This is the milk. Blue Letter is nothing but milk. And then we found out, if you go to the Blue Letter, there's certain words that they go off. I can give you several examples of how the Blue Letter goes off. Okay, so where did I say I was going to go? Okay, Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 23, verse 7. Oh, and then they'll say, Deuteronomy 23, verse 7 says, don't point out a Edomite, that you can't hate an Edomite and you can't hate an Egyptian, meaning you can't hate nobody. But at the same time, the Most High said what? When you see them Canaanites, utterly destroy them. But that's an act of hate. That's not an act of love. Okay. Let's come over here. And stop going to Deuteronomy 23 and 7 and saying you're not supposed to hate an Edomite. Abhor has nothing to do with hate. It said, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. He's a Hebrew, a Semitic Hebrew. Thou shalt, and this wasn't during the time of the full hatred. There goes the Edomites, let's kill them. Nope. Esau wasn't to be dealt with from us, go to war with, and to destroy, because Edomites had a job to do in the future. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in thy land. But you can kill up the Canaanite babies, the men, the women, the babies. It says kill them up, or at least smite them. Okay, so now let me look up the word abhor. Let's see if it means hate. And like I said, I will get into the subject of Dan mixing with the tribe of Benjamin. And if you notice, I ain't bad-mouthing Bishop Nathaniel because he hates that. You guys always talk. But I am going into the fact that where the hell did you get that from? Where's that in the scriptures? And if you can find a scripture, Dan mixed with Benjamin, that doesn't mean that Dan, we all agree, we don't have the proof on it, but we all agree, Dan didn't just disappear into go in the spiritual realm. He didn't disappear into the ether, as they call it. That he had to have been mingled among the other tribes. Okay, it says at Boar. The word is Ta'ib. Ta'ib. Let's see how this double says it.
Strong's H 8581. Ta'av. Ta'av.
Notice he said ta'av, which is a V. There's no V sound in the Hebrew. The V supposed to be is from the wa. Ta'ib. Be abominable. Like if your woman is on her period, the Lord says you stay away from that woman, for 7 days while she's unclean, while she's going through her monthly. So what are you doing? You abhor her. Job said, "My clothes abhor me," meaning you ain't took a bath in 2 weeks, so your clothes hate you. If your clothes had a mind and can talk, they said, "Let me jump off this cat right here." So it has nothing to do with hate. So now let's look up the word hate. You guys are teaching hate. Inside joke. Dave Chappelle rolled up to the camp talking about, you guys are teaching. This is not the Dave Chappelle, the comedian, but this other guy, bug out that looked just like Dave Chappelle. So these brothers in the camp saying, there goes Dave Chappelle. I said, where's Dave Chappelle? He said, that nigga there. I said, that ain't Dave Chappelle. He said, yeah, well, we call him Dave Chappelle. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, this is Deuteronomy. But if any man hate his neighbor, now that's the word hate. So the Most High could have put the word hate in Deuteronomy 23:7, right? But he didn't. There was a reason why. Because the word, you can hate Esau. And you best believe after Moses, matter of fact, they did come up after them. The Edomites said, we're going to come after you with the sword, and then he wound up coming after them. So you think they love him? Oh, I still love him. No. That's where the hatred began, because the hatred wasn't there during Esau and Jacob. But then there was a hatred because Esau wanted to kill his brother Jacob. So there you go. Anyway, let me come back over here. Okay, where am I? Let me find where I'm at. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it from the beginning. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
We just docked on the island of St. Thomas. We're at Radio 1 Team A. I'm Team A. We're Radio 1. It says Liberation in front of the radio station, Zimbabwe Liberation. We're going to inquire about that. Here in St. Thomas, there's several ports that we see where we're sure that they docked our people during the early 15 and 1600s in the time of slavery, chattel slavery here on the island. When you read about the indigenous Indians, which we can prove that was the tribe of Dan, okay, and they mixed in with the tribes of Benjamin that are...
Okay, so you got to be a little bit more, go a little bit more in depth on that. So he said that they're the Indians. Well, Dan was one of the original 13 tribes. So I would say Dan was a part of the 10 tribes that came over here. When they if you go to the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra chapter 13, 40th verse, you link it up with 2 Kings 17, around about the 20th verse. It tells you about the tribes coming over here to the other side of the world. And in the Apocrypha, the word there is, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go into that as well. And even Jewish scholars will tell you this. They'll tell you that they'll say the 10 tribes came over here to the Americas. And back when the Esau started coming in here from the east going to the west, the religious leaders, the majority of them, the top religious leaders, they all said, well, these are the Israelites right here. They don't say that no more. There are all these people here in America, these are the Israelites, because these Edomites knew. The scripture says there's nothing they can hide from thee. Esau, one thing about Esau, they study. That's why you go to the Bible Hub, and when you go to the Bible Hub, they'll say this is from the Hebrew word meaning this, and this is from the Greek word meaning that. Okay, so let me go here. I'm sorry. Let me go to the Apocrypha now. Why you keep jumping around like that? I said, because that's what I do. All right, how about that? That's what I do. All right, where did I say I was going to go? Okay, the Apocrypha. Bear me for a minute. Okay, second Esdras. Do this. 13 and 40. And basically, this is basic. This is basic. If you notice, you got IUIC going different radio shows. It's always basic because people are going to ask you questions that are very basic. And when you have Captain Cesare having these debates, it's always basic. These people that think that they're deep, it's basic to us. Okay, let me just open this up. But let me do this. This is the 40th verse. Let me just open this up. It says those are the 10 tribes. And at that time, Dan was a part of the 10 tribes. You got Judah, Benjamin, Levi that stayed, and then you had it's in the Chronicles, some of the members of the various 10 tribes stayed with Judah, and some of them were Ephraimites. That's why if you go to the ancient map of Africa, you got the land of Ephraim in Africa, because you had some of the Ephraimites that went back, because they knew Judah was the head tribe, which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea. Now that word there is in the Hebrew is Hawashai. You put the Yah, the precept Yah, on the word Hawashai, it's Yahawashai, the king, or King Hoshea, which was the king of Israel at that time. And Shalmaneser the fifth. And Shalmaneser was a title. The king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. That was Assyria. He had pulled them out from places like Samaria because they had put these heathens in there to keep the laws. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, the other nations, and meaning we're supposed to be separate from them, come out from among them and be separate, and go forth into a further country. The further country is talking about the uttermost part of the earth, which is Canada, the U.S., Central and South America. That's why, and I always go to this, one of my favorite precepts, Acts 1 verse 8. I think the point is in 8. So you're gonna speak in you're gonna receive power, and you're gonna prophesy or teach and Judea, Jerusalem, and Samaria, and to the uttermost part of the earth. That means America. And I ain't necessarily talking about Canada. Canada ain't blowing up. There's not all kind of Israelites all up in Canada. There's a couple of brothers in Canada. Got IUIC up there. You got GMS up there. I don't know about ISUPK. I don't know about Sakari. But the main place where you got where the truth came out of is America. We keep going through this, all right? And like I said, Esau says that when he came and encountered the people of this land, he said, these are the Israelites. Some of them said these are the 10 tribes of Israel. It said, but they, 41st verse, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go into a further country where never mankind dwelt. That had to be talking about America. That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow river places of the water. For the Most High showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. So it was smooth sailing for them because the Most High stayed the storms. For through that country, when you go from one country, now people will say, well, a country is talking about a land. No, a country's talking about a land and water. Okay, you going through different waters. You got international, what do you call it? Like this is part of international waters, or this is part of territorial waters that you can't go in, even in the ocean, Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, whatever. If you go past a certain point, you're in the territory of another land. So Atlantic is part of a country because it touches, the United States, the East Coast or whatever. It says for through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half. Go back to Solomon. Solomon had a navy, and it was a cycle, 3-year cycle, year and a half going, picked up the stuff quick, year and a half coming back. And the same region is called Ar-Sarath. Now we're going to look up, now that's a Hebrew word. It simply means, 40, let me go back to 40. It simply means another land in Hebrew. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try something. Bishop Nathaniel might have to start using the Hebrew and the Greek because it may help you in your teachings. Anyway, let me do this. So to bring you up to date, the title is Dan are Indians and that they mix among Benjamin. And that could be possible, but like I said, in reincarnation, Dan is going to be mixed among all the tribes. You got Benjaminites that grow up in Judite families. I'm a Levite, and I grew up, my brothers and sisters are all Judah. My mother's a Reubenite. So let's see what comes up. Okay, boom, it came up. It says, and Yahweh rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day. So when you come back to the Apocrypha, you have the words another land, and you also have the words Sara. Matter of fact, let me go to it so I can read it right. Let me do this. Pull this over here. right here. Arsareth. 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 Now let's go into the Hebrew for another land. Let's look up the word. Let's go to the etymology. Another land. Let's click on that. Another land. Another land. Achar Aratazah. Achar Aratazah. Achar Aratazah. Asareth, which is supposed to be Achar Aratazah. Achar, another Aratazah land. This is basics to some of y'all. Let me do this. Let me go to Google now. Okay, so there's a map. All right, let me do this. Let me click on this. Let's see what they say. Let me come over here. Come back over here. Do this one more time. And by the way, we are exiled in this man's land, and this in another land, which is our land anyway. Okay. Wait a minute. Bingo. Arath, the 10 lost tribes of Israel found kingdom of brother whatever. So what this map, this picture is saying, okay, this is from Bishop Nathaniel, all right, from IUIC. So from here to there. Didn't say exactly what part they went to. It said he started from there. Doesn't say that unless they got some information on that. Let me do this. Okay. Okay, so Arzareth, JewishEncyclopedia.com. Let's just see what it says. Okay, it's getting interesting. Jewish Encyclopedia. Because you got them small houses that do tell the truth. There's small houses out there that'll tell you in a minute that the original Israelites are black. I remember years ago, it was more than 20 years ago, it was on the news how this rabbi, a so-called, Edomite, he was going to retire and give his synagogue away, and he gave it to a Jake. He said, this is the new rabbi, and it was a Jake. When you go back to the commandment keepers, they were mingling with the small hats. So let me read this. It says, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of men, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing this is from the Jewish Encyclopedia, so they tell the truth too, the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration, the kingdom. It says, when you go back to 2nd Ezra 13, it says, then they shall come, meaning all the tribes are going to come over here to America. And there again, what I said, the focus is here in America. There should be 1,000,001 camps all over, just like when you go back during the time of Claudius, which was the emperor of Rome, in Acts 18, they pushed out the Jews and the Christians out of Rome. Why? Because they were all over the place raising hell. You had the different prophets out there teaching, all right? It says, in time of the restoration. What does the restoration mean? The word restoration means to restore, right? To build, so you can understand. A restaurant, a reason why a food place is called a restaurant, because the word restaurant means to restore. You get a little famished, you see a restaurant down the street, you go in there and you eat, and then you restore yourself, right? It says, according to, according to 14, wait a minute. Okay, it's 13. This is 4. This is 4. I believe they're saying it's Ezra 4. Not 2nd Ezra, but 4th, which actually, if you got your Apocrypha, it's the 2nd Ezra. So they're saying it's Ezra 4. 13 and 45. So it's 2nd Ezra's chapter 13, verse 45. Start from 40th. Columbus identified America with this land. Wait a minute, let's read it again. This is coming from the Jewish Encyclopedia. So don't tell me that they don't have the truth. Read again. The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of men, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the times of the restoration. We're in the time of the restoration. Hosea 6 and 2. And the third day we shall be raised up. After 2 days we shall be revived. Another word for revive, synonymous with survive, is revive. I'm sorry, revive is restore. You eat something, you famished, you eat a meal, you're revived. Revive meaning you live again. Restore also means you put it back together. Something broken down, a building breaks down from an earthquake or fire, and you restore it, right? So you're restoring your soul. So the restoration is right here in America. The focus, Bishop Nathaniel, the focus is right here in America. It's according to 4th Ezra, chapter 13, verse 45, Columbus identified America with this land. So who was here when the so-called white man came over here? The indigenous people. So guess what? Columbus had to know that they were Israelites. Remember, he had, what's this guy, Del Torres, which spoke 5 languages fluently, and he knew Hebrew. He knew Arabic, he knew Hebrew. So they knew to bring Hebrew interpreters, translated by Dr. C. Gross. And I mean, you can read the rest of this, but it says there again, the 10 tribes. So when they say you guys are making this up, the Indians are not, they're not the Israelites. Well, wait a minute. The Jewish community, they got a book. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in my favorites. I believe I even got this in my favorites. So let me come over. I'm over here. So Now we're going to come back over here. So he said, and you can actually read it. He said that Dan, we know who the Danites are. The Dan is mixed with Benjamin. All right? Let's come back right here. So let's say he's right.
1600s in the time of...
Hold up. Let's say he's right. But he's not, but he don't know the name of the Most High. Most High opened his mind to see that Dan is mixed with Benjamin, which he's got to prove that, okay, in the scriptures, not from no book from 1897, written in the King's English. I want it from the scriptures, all right? I want actual proof. So let's listen.
Slavery, chattel slavery here on the island. When you read about the indigenous Indians, which we can prove that was the tribe of Dan, okay, and they mixed in with the tribes of Benjamin that are here throughout the island. Yeah, we know there's some Judah sprinkled in here. Don't get it twisted.
Okay, so he said Benjamin. I want the proof. The scriptures say, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. So I'm throwing it, the ball's in your court. I want proof from the scriptures, not from no book outside the scriptures. I want proof that the actual tribe of Dan intermarried with Benjamin. So you really can't call him Benjamin no more. Are you Benjamin? Well, you might be Dan. What Ariad taught, which makes sense, is that they had to be mingled. They could have been mingled with one tribe. They could have been mingled with Benjamin, or they could have been mingled with Ephraim or Gad. Or they could have been mingled through the Spirit with among all the so-called 10 tribes. They can also be a part of the whatchamacallit, the 3 tribes. Because remember, when you die, if you die a Danite, you can come back as a Judite. You die a Judite, you can come back as a Gadite.
Okay, but the water's lovely. We're going to go over the history. We're going to prove that our people are indeed the 12 tribes of Israel, the tribe of Benjamin specifically. Okay, so we're also going to cover several things regarding what's happening. Hey, we just docked.
Okay, so I want the proof on that, okay? You can bring it up tonight. I want the proof on that. You notice I didn't say nothing bad about him. I just heard him say what he said. I let you hear it so you could say, oh, you putting words in the bishop's mouth. I just want you to prove that with solid proof. You know, I want you to prove that. And if that's the case, then why can't you get the other things? But you can't get the name of the Most High. Recently, you've been saying, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. I mean, they know that they're Israelites. I'll give them credit, but they don't have the whole truth. They don't have the 100% truth. If they had the 100%, if the IUIC had the 100% truth, they would be teaching that the MOTB is a micro C-hip. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next one, shalom. And if I remember, I'll leave this in the description box. So, with that, shalom.